Steve Deace, Stu Bergier. Head-to-head steel cage match.
Why do you keep talking about this? I don't understand your promotion of the segment.
Because Steve, he hates you.
Oh,
he
okay.
hates you. He thinks you're completely wrong on this.
He's not alone.
So I just want to get both of you on to see what you agree on and what you disagree on and where the differences are, because I get a happy vibe from Steve. I get a very sad vibe from Stu. And I just want some hope in my life. So if you both agree with what Stu says in the end, please spin it in such a way, I'm not buying the stool. I already have the rope. Okay.
Donald Trump is going to win by 45 points. That's my prediction.
I'm good. And we keep the Senate?
Oh, gosh. They're going to have all the senators. Even the ones not even running. They're going to resign and get appointed to be Republicans.
Wow, that's great. Okay. So, Steve, let's start with a happy talk and the good news. Tell me why we shouldn't believe the polls and which polls are accurate.
I just goes to show you how weird this year is that I am now where America goes for optimism. I don't even know what to do with that.
I know. I know the feeling. They came to me. They came to me for common sense. You just recently they're like, well, we want him to explain it. What? That's how screwed up you are?
This is usually the stage of the election when you all put me in a closet so I don't ruin this thing down the stretch. Okay?
Yeah.
But the reality is that the methodologies are just deeply flawed. And I think we could have two separate debates. Who's going to win the election and are the polls correct? And I just look at just this morning, 3 of the last 4 polls that were included in the RCP average, Real Clear Politics polling average, are putting Donald Trump in the danger zone of breaking Herbert Hoover's record for the worst popular vote finish in the two-party era when it was just a 2-man race of an incumbent president. He got 39.7%. You look at the base energy Donald Trump has. You look at the energy of the crowds that he can draw. You look at where the unemployment numbers are. I think we're going to get a massive economic growth report here at the end of this month. There's just no way possible Donald Trump is going to hover anywhere near and then how polarized the country is, how radicalized the opposition is. There's no way he's getting a Herbert Hoover-like popular vote percentage. And I just go back to 2008. I mean, guys, tell me right now, which campaign do you think, if you didn't look at a poll, if you looked at every other metric, which campaign do you think was in better shape at this stage?
Without
John McCain 2008 or Trump 2020? Which one?
Wait, which one?
Trump 2020 or McCain 2008.
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely, Trump 2020.
Well, the good news for you is the Real Clear Politics polling average at this point had John McCain about 3.5 points better than it has Donald Trump. So in that election, Barack Obama got the biggest Democratic presidential election victory since LBJ's historic romp in 1964. So then to me, we're starting from a baseline, Glenn, that the polls are at least wrong, that Donald Trump is at least in as good of shape as John McCain was in 2008. And then we can debate how much better shape from there.
I will tell you that I think it is possible to see, now not with the historic reasons of Obama, but I think there is in the GOP the kind of momentum that Barack Obama had in the Democratic Party. Not the crossover independents. I'm not talking about that, but the people who are in the party. I think there is the kind of he's got to win kind of attitude that Obama had in this is going to be great, historic, you've got to vote for him because what it says about you in history. I think that's the same kind of momentum.
I agree. I think the momentum is there on the opposite of that as well. He's got to lose or America is over. And I think both of those dynamics are at play. You look at the voter registration energy on the Republican side all over the country. Republicans are actually winning early voting right now. Never happened as far as I can ever remember. But you look at the amount of money Democrat candidates are raising all over the country. It's insane amounts of money. I think that just further proves this isn't going to be some historic 12-point popular vote margin loss. It's not even going to be some historic. I mean, Barack Obama, I just said, had the biggest win since 1964. He won the popular vote by 7 points. Joe Biden's going to do better than that, and against a sitting president with this kind of loyalty amongst his own base, there's no way that's going to happen. So I'm not arguing that Trump is going to win. I can't bet political futures in Iowa. If I could, and you gave me plus 160 or plus 200, I'd absolutely put 100 or something on Trump. Would I do it straight up? No. Okay. But if you were going to give me value odds, yeah, you bet I would bet him. But that's a different question to, are the polls right?
Okay.
Those methodologies are flawed, clearly.
All right. Before we get into the methodologies, Stu, comment on what he just said, because those are good points.
Yeah, and I don't think there's much there that I disagree with. I don't believe it's going to wind up a 12-point. I mean, there are polls out there that are showing that, but I don't think that's going to be the reality. The average poll right now is around what's the RCP at right now? Is 7 or 8. It's increased a little bit since that debate, but it's been bouncing around in the high single digits, basically. I do think we'll see some narrowing before Election Day. I'd be surprised if Donald Trump loses by more than John McCain. I think Steve's right on that. My impression, not looking at a poll, would be that they're in better shape. But again, this has bounced perfectly for Joe Biden. What is Donald Trump's best strength as a campaigner? Large in-person rallies. Mm-hmm. He's tried to do that, but for most of the year, they've basically been illegal. Right? He's in the middle of the pandemic and all of the things that bring along, but it doesn't only bring along negative things like economic despair and all of that with Trump. It also brings out incredibly positive things for Joe Biden in that you can hide him. I mean, they've been able to literally hide this guy.
I don't know if you've seen a single crowd of Joe Biden's. They show them in an airport hangar, and they never show the crowd because there's nobody there.
Yeah. And, I think Trump entered the first debate with an opportunity to change the narrative and take him from a place where he was, I think, throughout the summer, which was behind, but, within striking distance with a couple of big, good, positive events. And he had three of these debates to go. The first one, we all covered it together. We all thought it was a terrible debate. And it seems to have affected the polls in a negative way for Trump. Debate number 2 gets canceled because Trump's got the coronavirus. And debate 3 it's supposed to happen next week, but is it? I mean, who even knows? Mm-hmm. We're now seeing that Kamala Harris has people who are traveling with her that have tested positive for coronavirus. So would you be shocked in the least if Joe Biden, again, this is one of the reasons I don't understand what Trump was doing tonight. You have an opportunity. Joe Biden is going on television for a period of time and actually going to talk in front of the camera. The last thing in the world I want people to do is to not see that. And now Donald Trump is on another network who's going
with Savannah Guthrie, who hates him,
who hates his guts. If I was Donald Trump, I would walk out on stage with a television with ABC's broadcast of Joe Biden and just hold it up to the camera and hope people watched that. Because honestly, people know who Donald Trump is. The problem I think that Trump has here is that people, unlike 2016, where they hated Hillary Clinton, they don't have that visceral hatred for Joe Biden. And he's just a non-factor. So they're looking at Trump and trying to guard it. And I would agree with Steve that there have been some outlier polls. I think the ones in double digits, I just don't believe. I think I'm with Steve. I just inherently don't believe them.